right. Jörg Weissner asked how to work on your speaking using language islands with Link. Jörg ist German, also das würde ich gerne auf Deutsch erklären, aber ich glaube, dass meiste Menschen hier werden leider es nicht verstehen, also das mache ich heute auf Englisch. So, yeah, how to use how to use uh, language islands on Link. It's pretty easy. I'm gonna use Korean. I'm learning Korean now, and I'm gonna use Korean to explain. It's a very easy exercise. So basically, you
안녕하세요.
you first write your sentences, write them down on a Google, like on an Excel sheet, Google Drive, anything really. Two columns, your sentences in English or whatever your native language is, and you translate them using Google Translate or ChatGPT or something into the language that you're learning. It's good to have them in written phonetically as well to practice. But for this particular exercise, you'll need them in the original script. And then we'll import it to Link, and we've got text in Korean. And then we click here, generate audio file,
랭귀지 아일랜드 1.
and you can come here and download the audio. So then you can listen to it on repeat on your car or going for a walk or something similar. Uh, and with that, you get used to the sentences. But to work on your speaking, the easiest thing you can do is
안녕하세요.
you click on the sentence, and once you selected it, you click here.
안녕하세요.
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 안녕하세요. I recommend, however, you do this first with the whole thing. Just yeah, show translation here, generate translation, take maybe a minute or so. Should be ready soon. Yeah, so you get the set translation below, so you don't have to click everything. I recommend you read and listen at the same time a few times.
이름이 뭐예요?
이름이 뭐예요?
이름이 뭐예요?
이름이 뭐예요?
이름이 뭐예요?
이름이 뭐예요? And you listen and repeat each sentence.
제 이름은 미켈이에요.
Yeah, this is super quiet. I can't hear anything.
제 이름은 미켈이에요. 제
제
이름은
이름은
제
제. Is it 제 or 제?
제
제. Yeah, I can already me my. I can already make an association for this as well with Che Guevara.
이름은
이름은 제 이름은
제 이름은
제 이름은.
미켈이에요.
So it's my name Koreanized and then the eo in the end. 제 이름은 미켈이에요.
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 만나서 반가워요.
We've got a translation. Yeah.
만나서 반가워요. 만나서
만나서
반가워요.
반가워요. 만나서 반가워요.
만나서 반가워요. 만나서 반가워요.
It's a B.
만나서
만나서, but then it's like a 만나서.
만나서 반가워요.
만나서 반가워요.
만나서 반가워요.
만나서 반가워요. This is a very pronunciation is difficult. It's really difficult in this language, but I'll figure it out. First thing is since I dropped the only input thing and I'm memorizing vocab, it's going much better. So yeah, language islands. You write all the sentences, import to Link. Um, create translation here so you can see it. Also create audio, and then you can create a playlist with them and listen to them. And then you select the sentence. You like left click and select the whole
이름이
sentence,
뭐예요?
and then you click here.
이름이 뭐예요?
이름이 뭐예요?
이름이 뭐예요?
이름이 뭐예요? And you do it 10, 15 times each sentence. This is going to be rather tedious, but um, the more you do it, the better you'll get at saying the sentences. And these are all useful sentences for conversation. You can prepare anything really, from a business meeting to like travel situations, conversation in a bar, anything. And if you run out of ideas of situations and conversations, you can go to ChatGPT and ask for ideas. I don't recommend you use ChatGPT for you to write sentences, because it's much better if you write your own sentences the way you would say it and then use a translation. But that's it. You import them here, and once they're in, you select the whole thing. Like this one's going to be long, for example.
저는 스페인 바스크 지방 출신입니다.
Yeah. So if it's this long and it's obviously very difficult to repeat this, then you
저는
Chaneng,
스페인
Spain,
바스크
Basque. Chaneng, Spain, Basque. So you do word by word.
지방
Chitang,
출신입니다.
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 저는 스페인 바스크 지방 출신입니다.
저는 스페인 치바스크 출신입니다.
저는 스페인 바스크 지방 출신입니다. 저는 스페인 바스크 지방 출신입니다.
Yeah, I still haven't.
출신입니다.
It's important that you actually know the words. Yeah, so I'll have to associate all the words from this, so that I recognize them first. Because listening and repeating words that you don't know yet, it's going to be very, very hard to remember them or to recognize them. So first, memorize the words, and once you can understand it, then you try it. But yeah, with shorter things,
한국어 하세요.
한국어 하세요.
한국어 하세요.
I know Hangul is Korean, so go 하세요 is speak, I guess.
한국어 하세요.
한국어 하세요.
한국어 하세요.
한국어 하세요. Maybe I should switch it to a male voice if I can, so that maybe here settings. Yeah, I'll try later. 한국어 하세요.
한국어 하세요.
한국어 하세요. And this is, you should do this, like these are the basics, right? I'm from this place. Nice to meet you. I'm here on holiday. But then the key is to keep expanding the list and to include more and more sentences, so you have more and more situations that you've prepared sentences for. And this way you can prepare hundreds of sentences very quickly for most usual conversations and do really well. I do this a lot. My clients are usually Spanish business people who are not great at English and other languages, and they often go to trade fairs in Munich or Düsseldorf and places like that. And I help them prepare this kind of thing, so that they do, even if their English is not great, they do really well in the trade fairs. In all the business conversations that they need to have, and then also like the social stuff and like in small talk interactions, restaurant, all that. Like basically, they prepare the whole business trip, and they do really well with this. And this is something that anyone can do. You can import everything to Link. You can also make a playlist with all your conversations. Yeah, you download them, you generate the audio, download them, create a playlist, and you listen to them over and over again on your phone. And if you have like 20 different situations and 50 sentences per situation, or the other way around, like 50 situations and 20 sentences per situation, 20 sentences per situation, that's 1,000 sentences. But It's not that much in terms of audio files. It's probably less than a couple hours, and you can listen to those over and over and over again. And with 1,000 sentences well memorized and practiced, you can do really well in basically any situation when you're traveling. And you can also recycle your language islands, because if you take the time, most of the work here is writing the sentences, right, before translating them. Once you've got them, let's say you learn in Spanish. Once you've got them, you can. And let's say you're traveling to Brazil. You take your list in English or whatever your native language is, and you translate the whole thing to Portuguese, and then you do exactly the same exercise with all the sentences, and you already know what the sentences are, so you know what you're saying, and then you do it in. Or if you go into to Greece, you do it with Greek, and so on. So you can prepare like with a month or two of time. You can prepare for any travel and do relatively well in any language. If you will remember all that long term, if you don't keep practicing, that's another story. But you can do really well in the. I guess the only thing you need to do afterwards is just keep getting input, right? If you also get input, you will continue improving in the language. But if you need to do really well soon in specific situations, this is the way to go. Prepare sentences and learn them, and practice. Listen and repeat over and over.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요, and you click, and like each one like 10 or 20 times until you can say it. And then you should also listen to it without looking, and see if you can remember all of them. This is good for comprehension. Yeah, so listen to it.
안녕하세요. 마침표. 이름이 뭐예요? 물음표. 제 이름은 미켈이에요. 마침표. 만나서
Yeah, it's quite fast, but you well, there's another way of doing it as well. You can hide the translation and not look here.
이름이 뭐예요?
I guess that's what's your name.
제 이름은 미켈이에요.
Yeah, that's my name is Mikael.
만나서 반가워요.
Nice to meet you, Alice. Yeah.
어디서 오셨나요?
Where are you from? Yeah, because I know the long thing is that I'm from. Yeah. Okay. You got the idea. This is also good for comprehension, doing this. Uh, you can also anticipate the questions you might get, or the things they might ask you, and prepare those as well. Yeah. And you can also take notes from your interactions. If you have conversations in the language already, um, you can. And if you notice that you struggle with something in particular, you can take notes. Not like you like take you start like writing stuff down in the middle of a conversation. But when you get home, you're like, I couldn't talk about. I wanted to talk about this, and this, and I wasn't able to say all those things. And you simply uh, go to the Excel sheet and you write all the stuff you wanted to say in the conversation, and you couldn't, and you prepare those as well. So every time you can identify your blind spots and add more and more stuff the to the language islands, and then do this. Then eventually you'll be able to have any conversation pretty well in the language. It's just a matter of practice. Just lots of listening and repeating, and then also translating. This is great for this, for listening and repeating, but also do it the other way around with Google. No, Google Translate. So like with the Excel sheet, you look at the sentences on your language, um, in the column in your language, and translate them aloud, like saying them aloud into the language that you're learning, and then compare. That way, you force yourself to think in the language and to form the sentences in the language. This is good for fluency and like you gain muscle memory, and also you work on pronunciation. But then to make sure that you're able to recall the sentences and say them correctly, do the other one. Yeah. Hello. How do I say hello? 안녕하세요. And you're like,
안녕하세요.
all right, good. 이름이 뭐예요?
이름이 뭐예요?
Well, I know the other now, but 제 이름이 미케레요?
제 이름은 미켈이에요.
Pretty good. You get the idea. Yeah. So one from column to column translation into the language to be able to think in the language, and this one just for like a lot of reps for pronunciation and also for muscle memory. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, and thanks for your comments. Here, bye now.